I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners regular meeting for December 17, 2025. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Commissioner Vice President Rogers.
Present.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lestracco.
Here.
Commissioner Partha.
Here. So we have obviously a very special person going to do the Pledge of Allegiance tonight that everyone is here to applaud, celebrate, and really just say thank you. So Bob,
Dan, right?
Bob, would you please lead
Sure.
us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to make an motion to amend the agenda for tonight.
Okay, all right.
That would include an appointment to the park, to the pool board,
The pool board.
the pool board,
Okay, and the motion is,
to appoint Aaron Block to that position.
okay.
I believe you have to take a second for the motion to amend.
I'll make that a second.
Yeah, so there's a motion on the table to appoint Aaron Blanc,
Yes. To agenda.
to amend the agenda.
Correct.
Right, okay. And there's a second, and there is a motion to amend? Is that what Jen, is that what you said?
Yes, motion to amend is on the floor.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is there a second? There's got to be a second to amend.
I second.
Jerry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought you were making an amendment to the motion.
No, it was not.
Then I completely get it.
Sorry.
Nope, that's, when you said that, then,
Miscommunicated.
okay, so then is there any questions or comments with regard to the motion to amend the agenda? No? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of amending the agenda to include that on the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Nay. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so the ayes have it 3-2. Sorry, folks, there's a process here where we're amending the agenda, and my apologies, I thought there was an amendment to the motion, and so that's where I confused, it's my fault. So we're going to add to the agenda that we'll do later when we do our action items, which is a motion to appoint Aaron Blanc to the pool board,
Pool advisory board.
pool advisory board. Okay, all right, now that we have that, we can move forward. Let's approve the entire agenda, which includes that amendment. Is there a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrus. Sorry, Jerry, for a second. Any questions or comments? All right, all in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so we have a 3-2 vote, but we're going to move forward with the agenda as amended. Okay, citizens' comments. Are there citizens' comments on agenda items? Yes.
Good evening. I'm Carla D'Alessio, 2169 Stewart Drive. I am Commissioner-elect for Ward 2 in 19 days, 2.5 weeks. It is my understanding that appointments to committees are done as standard practice at the January 5th swearing-in meeting, where a number of us, including myself, have individuals who we want to put onto the pool committee. One would be myself, as perhaps a second seat to one of the other commissioners. I would be first seat if there was no other commissioner wanted to do that. I feel it would be very awkward and uncomfortable for me to sit on the pool committee as a commissioner and as well as a member and have my former contender of November 11th sit on that committee with me. So I ask this board respectfully not to make this appointment and to wait to the January 5th and follow normal procedure and allow the future elected board. This seems quite late in the process. You're about to leave the board after tonight's meeting. There were many years where this individual could have been appointed to any committee. It seems quite unusual and frankly disrespectful to me and my future position as an elected official in 2.5 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other, yes, sir.
Pat Hanrahan, 643 Brighton Drive. I'd like to thank, first of all, Commissioner Rogers for a great career as a commissioner. What Ms. Delicio said, I think, is garbage. We're filling a position. You have the right to fill that position. We already have the wokeness coming back to Hatfield Township that we got rid of years ago. The 3-2 vote. God forbid we switch the amendment, the agenda around, which I think is BS. And hopefully we know the changes are going to be made come January, and they're going to just hatchet everybody. It's sad that it's come to that, but thank you, commissioners, for what you do. Thank you, Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you.
All right, any other citizens' comments? All right, hearing none, then we're going to move on to the consent items. All right, so is there a motion to move the consent items that are in the agenda into the record?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers, second by Commissioner Andrus. The consent items include the Board of Commissioners meeting minutes of November 19, the Treasurer's report for the month of December, the bills payable, paid bills in the amount of $147,339.17, and unpaid bills in the amount of $444,558.20. And last is the budget report for the month of December. Is there a motion so with that, if there's any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. We can move those in. The motion is whether we can move those into the record. All say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, we have a special item, which I know so many of you are here to be a part of. And so what we're going to start off with is a little bit of, on the entertaining side, of video directed towards Vice President Rogers for his fantastic service over the last 12 years, and our thank you to him for such great service. So,
Can I object?
you cannot object. There will be no further adjustments to the agenda. There will be no changing. You are now within our grasp and at our will. So with that, if we can
We're in
start the
control
video.
now. All right, ready, commissioners?
Yay.
It's a silent flip flop. I'm used to these.
Purple sky to close the day. I wade the surf where dolphins play. The taste of salt, the dance of waves, and my soul wells up with hallelujahs. A lightning flash, my pounding heart, a breaching whale, a shooting star. Give testimony that you are, and my soul wells up.
Hey Bob, obviously as the chief here, I just want to let you know I'm standing in the vestibule of the new police building, and you were a very integral part in getting this together for the police department and the township, and I can't thank you enough. Your leadership throughout the years has been absolutely wonderful, and you've been nothing but supportive of the police department. On another note, I would tell you, outside of being a commissioner, you've been a wonderful friend. I think that friendship has grown through the years, and I very much appreciate that personally. And then on another note altogether, having met your wonderful family through the years, and now having kind of a little bit of a camaraderie with one of your granddaughters is very special. And I truly appreciate all that. I'll never forget it. thank you for all you've done for us. And if there's ever anything you can do, please reach out, and you have a friend here in Hatfield. Thank you.
Hey, Bob. Hey, we've been friends for a long time, real long time. But just wanted to say thanks for all your hard work and dedication and everything you've done for Hatfield Township. You've been a definite positive influence on a lot of people. You've done a lot of good things in the township, and just want to wish you continued success down in your new job and down in Maryland. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, Bob, Debbie,
And Rex.
we're going to miss you, Bob. You were my #1 complaint to, and I'm going to miss that, but we're happy that you're retiring.
I'm sure you're glad, too.
We're going to miss you, Bob. Again, thanks for everything. And Aaron, stay tuned. Now I'll be complaining to you, which I already do.
Yeah, you're up.
Take care, Bob. Love you. Bye.
We've been through some things together, with trunks of memories still to come. We found things to do in stormy weather. Long may you run. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun.
Hi, Bob. It's Tina and Bob. We just want to say that we thank you so much for all of your hard work, all of your dedication, and thank you so much for supporting me in particular with some of my projects and ideas and other things that I come up with. We really
Very good
appreciate
ideas.
You've been a great commissioner. We'll miss you, and thank you again for everything.
Thank you, Bob. You have been wonderful. We really appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Yes, good luck, and I hope everything that's good comes your way. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Long may you run. Long may you run.
Although we served together on the board for only 2 years, it was clear from the beginning that your leadership, your professionalism, and commitment to the Hatfield Township set a strong standard for all of us. Your steady approach, your deep knowledge to the township matters, and your consistent focus on what is the best of our residents have made a lasting impact on this board and on the community as a whole. Your many years of services shows your strong dedication to public services to this township. Hatfield has benefited greatly from your guidance. As you complete your term, I want to formally recognize and thank you for your contribution and for the example you have set. Your service will be remembered, and your leadership will continue to influence this township moving forward. Thank you.
With those waves singing Caroline, rolling down.
Hello, Bob. I will try and keep this short and sweet, unlike an attorney we both know and love. Thank you for 12 years of outstanding community service to our Hatfield Township residents. Your leadership in unifying our local volunteer fire companies and having them work together in developing a capital investment strategy is an outstanding accomplishment and will serve our residents well in years to come. Thank you for being a great person and holding true to our township mission of providing support to our outstanding police, our fantastic park and recreation, and hardworking public works departments. Thank you for your support of many successful projects such as the Orvilla Road realignment, our new Hatfield Police Station, and the improvements to Clemens Park and the dedication of Logan Land. These and many other accomplishments were achieved with your steady hand in providing our township manager the ability to hire a professional staff with the experience and drive to deliver these and many other accomplishments while not increasing taxes during your 12 years of community service. Bob, I wish you and Deb great health and much happiness. Only now will I be the senior member of the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners. God bless.
So I've had the pleasure of working for Bob now for 12 years, his entire tenure as a commissioner. And I've got a ton of stories to share, but I'm going to choose one in particular for his final meeting. It was one that sticks with me and I think will for a long time. It was Christmas Eve in 2020, in the height of COVID. And we had been trying to fix this Cowpath or Villa intersection for decades, and we were finally close to making it happen. Residents were wondering, why aren't you opening the road? We finally pressured PennDOT and the contractor enough to get it done. Christmas Eve 2020, road's finally going to open. I wanted to be the first to drive through it. I grabbed the kids, throw them in the truck, flying from Harleysville into Hatfield. I come flying down Orvilla to be the first, and who do I see? Bob Rogers standing in the middle of the intersection, laughing, waving at me, clapping. I was beeping, he was waving. You know, my kids both said, how did he get there before us? Is he Batman? And I laughed. I said, he's a lot like Batman. And that's Bob. He's a Batman of Hatfield Township. He somehow appears everywhere. He knows everything that's going on. Anytime you would need support, he's there. He's just an incredible guy, and it's been an absolute honor to work for him and with him these past 12 years, and I'm going to miss him a lot. So, Bob, thank you so much for having my back for 12 years. It means everything.
Hi, Dad. Just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work you've done in Hatfield Township, and we want to say that we love you.
Love you, and we like Hatfield. Hi, Pop. I love you, and I like Hatfield.
Hey, Pops, we hear you're retiring from Commissioner of Hatfield. Wanted to thank you for all the hard work you've done in the town that I grew up in, that we get to come visit in. Robbie, what's your favorite part about Hatfield?
Thanks, Pops, for the water park. The slides.
Nice. Thank you again, Dad, for all the hard work.
Happy retirement.
Congratulations, Pop. Thanks for being a great public servant and even better grandfather.
Love you, Pop.
Thank you.
Now you get to come down with me.
Yeah, I gotta get my walker.
All right, this is, Bob has heard me say this 1,000 times, but this will be the last time he hears me say it, at least standing next to me, which is, there's no better way to say thank you than to embarrass someone publicly a little bit. So we have three of us are going to add some additional comments. I'm going to save my roast of you for last, if that's okay. Don't worry, it's only going to be about a half an hour with slides, because Aaron helped me out. But Commissioner Partha is going to lead us off.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, President. So I just want to say a few words. I think I already sent a voicemail, videos, send the videos to add into the videos. I came US in 2016, so my uncle living here since early 90s. So we have lots of Bangladeshi peoples in here. So before even get involved in the politics and before even get touch into the everything, like, you know, I go to the pray for the mosque, where is the first people, maybe Hindu peoples goes to the temple, and you guys and the Christian goes to the church. So this is the place, so how we go. And I come to know before even get involved in anything, I heard very good word about you, Bob. Most of the people, many people actually work on the green tweet as well. So it's not about only you, a commissioner, and you always and everywhere. So in the community, every people heard say good about you because you are a good people, good humble people, and you help with so many projects. I give an example like the temple, this new police station, the mosque, and lots of the projects you did, you supported a lot, and many people always talked about you, and they will miss you for sure. And thank you. I want to thank you for right now where the community is there. It is all for all the previous board of the commissioners and one of the you who supported all of the projects. Thank you, Bob.
I know Commissioner Lustracco has some words as well. Something special for you.
I was
actually.
getting a drink, yes. Okay, so I just wrote a little poem because it's just something I like to do. I don't know. So here goes. And it's okay if you giggle. Anybody just listening? If you want to giggle, that's okay. You can giggle too, Bob. Tonight, let's honor Bob's days here in Hatfield. 5,380 days. So much you've accomplished in countless ways. Budgets, roads, hearings, pools, and these township walls. You served with patience, given all the phone calls. We know your chapter here must end. More time with family, with morning runs and adventures you will now attend. Congratulations, Bob, and thank you for making Hatfield the best place to live and grow. Thank you.
All right, let the roast begin. So, I'm actually going to follow my notes this time. So come on up closer. No, I'll put the glasses on in a second. Come closer. So what do you say about what I've come convinced is the most interesting man in Hatfield? And so it might seem like that's just a saying or just a trite quote from me right now and say, okay, what does that really, doesn't say much. But I suspect that after just a few minutes, and don't worry, I'll only keep you up here for a few minutes, you're going to say, you know what, Bob is an extraordinarily interesting guy. So as I prepared these notes, I thought to myself, okay, what is it that I obviously want to share, not just with the town, but his family, and then also with you. I broke it down into 3 sections, each section a half an hour each.
Coming up, Larry.
All right, first I'm going to tell a little bit about what we all know about Bob, things that are just kind of, many of you know already, right? Second is the things that you might not know about Bob that make him extraordinarily interesting. And don't worry, I'll keep it into a good version. And then last is, of course, Bob as a commissioner and his success in the last 12 years. So let's talk about what we know about Bob. He has lived in Hatfield for almost his entire life. There are not many people who can say that. People move, they change locations, but he has been here almost his entire life. He's an executive at Green Tweed, where he has worked for over 40 years, extraordinary from a professional standpoint. He started out in a non-management position, I would say kind of bottom rung, and he's told me numerous times bottom rung, and that very unlikely that he ever saw himself at the level that, professionally where he is now. And so now it's an incredible achievement that he has literally gone up from every rung to where he is. The father of 4 fantastic kids, grandfather of 5 kids, some of which are with us tonight. One in particular won our Chapman Award that we still talk about. Very excited, thrilled that his granddaughter won that award. He's worked with youth mentoring and sports programs for years. These are things that he's contributed not just once or twice, but for his entire time that he's here. For those of you who may or may not know, I don't know how much you run now, but for many years he was an avid runner. And yes, Every time I showed up to run, I was embarrassed because I thought, Bob and Ken Amy are just going to blow past me. And then at the end of the race, as I drag myself across the line, the two of them would be standing there smiling as if they had been, they'd been crossed the line 20 minutes early. They actually had been past 20 minutes early. And so an incredible athlete. He worked with the Bucks in Montgomery County Children and Youth, providing housing and support for children and families in the area. And of course, he's been a commissioner for 12 years, and we'll talk about that in a bit. All of this is remarkably commendable and laudable. And I think that if you stopped there, you'd say, okay, that's a successful person, that's a successful life kind of encapsulated in a moment or two. But I want to move on to section 2 of what I told you I was going to talk about, the things you might not know about Bob and how extraordinary it is that he is here and the backdrop of his life that has brought him here. He did not have an easy path as a young kid. He's told me stories that, those are between us, but he told me stories that he did not have an easy childhood at all. As a youth, he was a bit of a rebel, fair to say?
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe even got into some lovable trouble from time to time.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. He lived in a few spots as a youth, some by choice, one maybe not so much. In his youth, Bob would hang out at spots throughout the entire town. And then fast forward many years later, and it's because of that, where he hung out, he knew every single spot in Hatfield. It seems like he has a radar on every home, every business, every moment in time where an event took place. And I attribute that to your youth, having grown up here and having been at these places and being so connected to Hatfield. In a quiet moment, I think Bob would tell you that he never imagined years ago that he would be a commissioner, let alone for 12 years, and serves, as distinguishedly as he did. I don't think he ever thought that was his path when he was younger. But his life changed, and he, by himself, pulled himself up, with his family as well, of course, and changed his path and put himself professionally and, I guess politically we'll call it, from a government perspective, on a path of such great success. Some other details about him, and I just mentioned, I think he's one of our Hatfield historians. I think he knows more about Hatfield than virtually anyone that I've ever met. And again, I attribute that to his youth and just his having been around here. He has a history. He'll say, you'll be somewhere, and he'll say, and everybody who knows him will say, oh yeah, I remember that. Back in such and such, there was an incident there, or this took place, or he used to work there, or they used to live there. It seems like he knew every inch of the town, and I'm looking at his smiling family. I suspect they've heard these stories for forever, right? And I would always say, wow, he knows my ward better than I know my ward, right? And I've been a commissioner for quite a while, and he just knows it because Hatfield is truly, it's in your blood. There's no doubt about it. Something else you probably don't know, he's taken in troubled kids from time to time, and he's given them to his own home and to help find others a home. There's not many people who have done that. There's not many people who have put themselves out there and shown the grace towards another person, sometimes really not even knowing the person, and giving them what they need at that moment in time, more so than other people. And that's extraordinary. So we're all at times presented with opportunities where we can make an impact like that, and he's done it not once but many times over, and that's extraordinary. One more fact that you might not known about Bob, although I definitely could go on and on. I think, do you still get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. He gets up at 3 o'clock every morning, right? And then he rides a bike, or he goes running, or he does something. He does more in those hours than most of us are, it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when everyone else's alarm goes off, or even later. He's been out and about for hours already. And what's shocking to me is, for all the years that I've known you, you never seem tired even when it's like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. If I did that even one time, I would be asleep in my chair. So he has extraordinary stamina, not only as, professionally, but also when he's governing. So those are some of the things you might not have known about him. So let's talk briefly about Bob as commissioner, and then I'll put you out of your misery, I promise. You know, I remember the first time that I really, you're laughing behind me? The first time that we ever really worked with each other, it was before he was a commissioner. There was an issue that came up before us, just summarize it by calling it the property maintenance code debacle of whatever year, all right? And so we had differences of opinion on that issue, and then fast forward some years later, he becomes commissioner, and we still didn't really know each other very well, but I thought, oh, it's that guy who I ran into. I bumped into him on that property maintenance stuff, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be bumpy. And I have to tell you, it's been extraordinary. It is a tremendous honor for me to have served with him and with all of you. Commissioner Hughes is here. I mean, I have been remarkably lucky to have served with so many different commissioners, you in particular. And it really is, you know, you saw some of the attributes that were listed on the video there. Solid, strength, all of those things. The resolve that he presents, it really is there. He's more often than not unflappable. So something happens and he is just entirely unflappable. He's calm and thoughtful. And there's been many a time as a board, prior boards, this board, when we're searching for an answer, where we're trying to figure out where to get to. It's Bob that quietly leads us or says something, and I can say, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's the route. And he doesn't do it with any great fanfare. I don't think that he loves standing up here in the slightest. I'm sure that he would have loved that I would have said, thanks, Bob, shook his hand and moved on. But we have been able to rely on him unconditionally for so long. And so it's a fond farewell that we say, you know, thank you for your service in retiring. But there's some tears, I'm sure, that we're going to shed a little later, because it's just been a fantastic time. I've already started to call these golden years for Hatfield Township. These dozen years, we've had just some great success. And it's yes, you're a part of a team, but you've been an extraordinary part of a team. And like Chief said, you know, you're not just our commissioner, you're our friend. So thank you for the last dozen years. It means the world to us. We always have to give a gift. So we'll take some photographs with this. This is just some memories of Bob over the years.
Yeah, I was a little bit younger back then.
We all were.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank my family. I mean, they're most important. They're very supportive, always been. Very proud of all of them. So, and then I'll take a step back to Mike Murphy and Harry Rutherford. I guess they were the two that got me kind of involved in this years ago. Mainly Harry. And then, I'll jump ahead a little bit here. First of all, Pat, thank you for allowing me to ride in the front of the police car for the first time in my life. Yeah. So
the only commissioner that lasted more than 8 hours.
So that was cool. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. What a great, fantastic police department we have. So I'll start off with Commissioner Hughes, Larry. So Larry and I got involved a little bit before I even became commissioner. And then once I became a commissioner, he kind of helped me along, mentored me. Aaron did this presentation last month with the seed. And, it's like that kept on going on in my mind and all that stuff. So, I'll take a step back. And I think it was probably, I'm not positive on this, before I was commissioner, about 15 years ago. I believe Hatfield Township was in financial difficulties. And I think Larry and Tom worked through a lot of long days and long nights to get that squared away. So that was the beginning, I think, of the planting of the seed. And then thereafter, all the years that, we kept on nurturing it, watering it, and that kind of stuff. And I remember my first year, we were in a position where we said we're going to start putting $100,000 away for a rainy day fund. It was fantastic. The work that you guys did before I even got here was incredible. Same with Commissioner Andreas. Fantastic group. So anyway, I want to thank Larry. You know, we talk about the Arvilla Road. I can remember sitting in the planning meetings, and every week, every month, Larry said, "Are we buying a gas station? Are we buying?" Without that gas station, there would have been no alignment of the road. So, and I think everybody knew that, but you know, certainly Larry didn't let anybody forget that. So anyway, I appreciate that. Chief, fantastic. You know, so I was thinking when you first get to know you, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it looks like you could fight your way out of any problem, right? You have that image. But I've learned that you don't fight your way out of it. You think your way out of it. All the times that I had concerns, I had friends, family, and stuff like that needed a little bit of help. You were there for them. You're a great leader. The thing that really stands out, and it's kind of stupid in a way, but I always see the little odd out of the way things that nobody else seems to see. I was at Wawa, and I see a police car come flying out, and it says Hatfield with police real small underneath. And I thought, that doesn't look right. Something's odd there. So then you know, before I say anything, you know, I go check the other police cars. They all say police and Hatfield underneath. And I said to the chief, is that a mistake or something? It's like, no, you know, we want to make sure people understand we're here for the community first. So, you know, that's the deep thinking that goes into the leadership that he's provided for our police department. And, you know, all the ones that followed him, you know, somewhere along the line, he's going to retire. And I remember seeing a saying, you know you're a good leader when you develop people that can take your place. And I believe he has several people that in a couple of years, whenever he decides to move on, they'll be able to take control and manage the department as well. So, thank you. Brian?
I can fight too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? We had that conversation about Sugar Ray Leonard, right? I'm not sure we would go there again. I mean, all right. So, anyway, I'm going to jump to Brian. Brian, fantastic job. All the meetings we had and stuff like that, I learned a lot from you. You were so knowledgeable in Hatfield Township. It was funny because when I asked how long you've been doing this, you said 2005. Not, when I asked John says, about 20 years. That's the engineering part of it, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, right? That's what you do very well at. And I'd like to go around and ask the commissioners what they think of your performance over the years. And I don't want to put them on the spot because I think I know where things are headed, and that's sad. Scott, great job. You know what? When we were going through that reorganization, I remember doing all the interviews and stuff like that. You really stood out, and you certainly somewhere along the line, you're going to have your own ship, whether it's here or wherever. But you know, even all the planning stuff, and so we had some good times out on the golf course, all that. So then I'm going to jump over to Kristen. Great job. You know what? So again, you go back to the planting of the seed. None of this stuff happened last year. It didn't happen the year before. I mean, it took years for this to build and to grow. And so you were part of that. You and John. I can remember when I first became commissioner, I didn't know what was legal and what wasn't legal. And you know, you think you know it, but you realize you don't know it when you start talking to people that know it. And I can remember the numerous phone calls saying, hey, you know, can I do this? Is this, you know, how does this work? You know, can we do this? Can we try that? You and John have done a fantastic job, and mainly you, because I worked with you mostly on the Planning Commission. Again, you and Brian, your knowledge of Hatfield Township is unbelievable. And my biggest concern is that we're going to lose that knowledge. And we're going to be dealing with people that have no concept whatsoever of Hatfield Township. None whatsoever. And you know, both of you, fantastic. I enjoyed working with you. Kristen, really, I mean, I remember some of the stupid questions I asked. But you know what? I was always told there's never a stupid question. So Anyway. So Jerry, I remember my first meeting. I won't go to that. We talked about the pool. And I can remember Larry, sell it, sell it. So it didn't take very many meetings to realize that, you know what? Us as a group, we always started in different directions. We all had our thoughts or ideas or whatever. Somehow we were always very open, and we managed to come to a very consensus. And I believe that was because it was Hatfield first, before anything else. Before our personal thoughts and all that stuff, it was always about Hatfield. And, you know, you're going to break the record here. So, and you know, on the personal side, you're a workhorse, man. I remember the 5 cords of wood in one day. I don't know how you were feeling at the end of that day, but I was sore. So, and you know, all that you've done over the years for the township, just incredible.
Thank you.
Tom? Yeah, I know. When I first came on, it's like, oh, here we go. You fantastic leader for our board. He taught me a word that I never really thought about. It was silvery. You know, always taking into consideration people, not what party they're associated with or where they live or what background they have, but being cordial to people, always allowing people the opportunity to express their thoughts and their feelings. And you're always a great leader, great speaker. I can remember one time you messed up on a word in a speech, and it drove you nuts.
Oh, I did.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it.
The Legion. One word. So you've been a fantastic leader for us. And, you know, in the beginning, I know I'm kind of more on the pushy side. You're more on the, let's soften it up a little bit. Let's make it cordial and all that stuff. Fantastic leader. So, and I guess that leaves one person, right? Aaron. I know when I first started, so my interaction with the previous township managers were kind of rough. You know, I guess I didn't really care too much for how they did things. I really didn't care too much for how government worked. And I got a good understanding from all you guys, and especially Aaron, because you think everything, you just do this, and it never, it's like watching paint dry when you do stuff in the government. You've been a great friend. All the questions, I remember having conversations like, how do we do this? What's the best way to do that? Should we try this? Should we try that? You know, I guess the best thing I can say is I would take you for a son any day. And I remember telling your father that on your birthday. You've been a fantastic leader. You know, and Tom says it all the time, right? We sit up here and we get all the, you know, yeah, great, you guys, look what the commissioners did this. And every week, every month, it's like, yeah, the commissioners did that. Yeah, so we do a little bit, but it's the staff that does it all, okay? And it's under your leadership. And I can tell you 4 years ago when you reorganized this Hatfield Township, it's incredible, the outcome that you know, I'm thinking about Jay. What an ad. Scott, what an ad. You've turned this from, so we were always a first-class township, right? As far as political, or whatever you want to call it, municipality. But you changed us from a second-class functional group to a first-class group. You know what? I'm not sure what's in it for your future, but no matter what, you'll be successful. You know, I'll always think about you guys and all the years we spent together and stuff like that, and gals. And yeah, I think I'm done. And Tina and Bob, you know, some of our longtime fans, right?
You got in before I got a chance to jump on. Yes. First of all, thank you for approving this beautiful suit that I'm wearing tonight. I appreciate that greatly. So other than things that everybody has already said, you've been here for some pretty landmark things, our accreditation, our new building, and basically our department not only growing but flourishing. And people say we have the best police department around. We absolutely do.
You do.
And that starts because of all the people who oversee us. My pride has grown through the years in our department. My pride has grown in knowing you, and this is from the men and women of our department.
Thank you.
Finally get a badge?
They pretend we.
It's nice.
Come out.
Jay, hold on. Wait, Jay. Fix the chairs.
Jerry?
Ashley.
She just went.
Okay, I'll catch you. Ooh, you like that, don't you? Am I your special grandfather now?
You know you guys are getting in photos, right? I mean, you can't get out.
That's just bringing the kids out.
Okay.
Unless, why don't you take some pictures of the
No,
he's not done.
A lot of work. Jay's got a whole session prepared.
Commissioners?
Yeah, why don't we have commissioners?
Picture. Get the commissioners in here. Oh, you sure? Yep. I want to do a staff one. Let me get Chief Scott. Yep.
You want to grab Ashley?
Yeah.
No, I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, just give me enough advance notice. What? Yeah, go ahead. Brian, go ahead. Yeah.
Separate the big guys.
Yeah. Chief said I wasn't allowed. I'm just afraid of the camera. One more. We need all the grandkids. Yeah. We need the little ones. Come on, Ray. Your turn.
Come over here. Go pop in the center.
All right.
Yeah, act like we know each other.
One more. All right. Good job, guys. Good job.
Later.
Yeah. They want to work or whatever, maybe you want to split on it. If you come in, you want this one today and then ride over and then you can do that too. Yeah, just pick out some dates. You know, because I want to get you with the right person. I want you to have someone who will actually be intriguing for you. You know?
Love you guys.
All right, while these guys yuck it up over here, there are two more quick thank yous that I want to make, and I know you had one more item. Jay Gordon for putting together the video and the pictures. Thank you, Jay. Fantastic job this evening. And I feel bad. I neglected, I should have said this, is to thank Bob's family. Not just for being here, but for 12 years, you gave him to us, and we took his time away from you. And so you gave us quite a gift for about a dozen years or more, and we greatly appreciate it, because those nights when he probably was like, oh, I got to go to a budget meeting, and he dragged himself out, maybe sometimes you were excited that he stepped out of the house. But most times I suspect you were thinking, oh, he's going over there again? And so for those moments, on behalf of all of Hatfield, we want to say thank you very much to the entire family.
Yeah, so I'm not used to Ashley being at the meeting. I know she just walked out. I feel really bad. I feel really bad. She turned our Park and Rec program completely around. It's incredible. I remember working with her predecessor. She was a very nice person, but she's not an Ashley. And you know, that goes to say the team that was put together for Hatfield Township for all these years, that really made a huge difference. Again, it was our job to help guide things, but it was them that did all the work. And if you try to micromanage this, a high-performing team, you're going to wind up losing a high-performing team, because that's what happens when you have somebody that really knows what they're doing, and you have somebody standing over top trying to micromanage them, tell them what to do. They're not going to have the time of the day for you. And I hope the next board hears me when I say this, because you're about ready to, I think, from what I understand. You know, I was told that nothing was going to change, but I believe that everything's going to change. We have staff here that know Hatfield Township as well as I do, if not better. And I think they're going to be pushed out the door, and that's sad. We have a, and this isn't so much a political statement, but we have a sheriff that runs around acting like he's an officer of the law, taking pictures with candidates, donating money to them to get them to take control of the board. And then what do? They push everybody out, and he comes in with his legal firm. And that's sad. That's what's going to happen to Hatfield Township, probably. I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and I'll apologize. But from what I've seen tonight, I think I should wear my shirt the next time I come here. No Queen's Day. So I think that would be appropriate. So thank you.
All right, Larry, we always said that you had the fastest meetings, and he was pushing me for a short meeting, and we broke that to, we blew that to smithereens. So we're going to jump right in. And yes, no, we are. We're going to, we could keep going, but we have other things we have to do. I understand you got the little ones. Totally understand if you need to head out. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and like I said, for loaning us Pop for so many years. We really appreciate it. Okay, so committee reports. I think we're not doing those, right? Okay.
Or wait till next time.
We're going to go right to action items. So we have a handful of them. The first one is ordinance number 711, and it's our 2026 budget adoption. So our budget, the ordinances associated with our budget there's a few of them. It's not just one. So the next 2 or 3 actually are all related to that. So the first one is ordinance number 711, like I said, 2026 budget adoption. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, if you want to tell us this one, and then we can not roll the other 2 in, but we know what the next 2 are all about.
Sure, no problem, Mr. President. We went over the budget several times this year, and this is the final step along the way. This is a 12th straight year of no tax increase. The commissioners have led us down this path. Thank you. Commissioners deserve a round of applause for sure. A lot of good things happening in 2026, like the open house and the unveiling of our new public safety police station on Cowpath Road, which is going to be quite the celebration. Chief Tierney's up to $20,000 that you raised for the event. Just enough to pay for that suit, I think. But another great year ahead, like we've had in the past. Another notable partnership that we're forming is with our ambulance company, who's going to be moving in next door to the existing police station. But thank you, commissioners, for guiding us through this process yet again in a rather smooth and responsible way. So the next 2 items are related to the budget to approve and to establish the same tax rate that has been in place for now 12 years here in Hatfield.
Okay. Any questions or comments from commissioners or residents? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of ordinance 711, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Next is ordinance 712. Is there a motion for approval, which is for the establishment of the 2026 tax rate with a no increase tax rate?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers, second by Commissioner Andrus. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of ordinance 712, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Third, also related, budget related. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's the garbage collection ordinance. Ordinance 713. Is there a motion for approval regarding the amending the garbage collection ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lestracco, second by Commissioner Andrus. Aaron, if you want to explain to us what the amendment is.
Sure, nothing as exciting as the budget, believe me.
How could it not be? Right?
This is simply a housekeeping item to update our ordinance to put back the times of garbage collection that was inadvertently removed a few years ago. This is simply saying that our haulers that come into the town can collect garbage from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's it.
Which is good because, the hours were shifting, ever shifting for some of the haulers. So this is a good thing.
This gives
It was tough dodging the trash trucks I was running.
I fully believe that's true, by the way, that you were running and that happened. So, all right, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of ordinance 713, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Next is a motion for approval for a tax appeal settlement for 1150 Bethlehem Pike. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lestracco, second by Commissioner Andrus. Ms. Solicitor, do you want to give us a rundown? Yep,
I do.
For this one and the next one, yep.
Yes, there are 2 in front of you. As usual, we follow the recommendation of the school district. The first is for 1150 Bethlehem Pike. It's a slight reduction in the value of the property of establishing the 2026 assessment. It's a market rate. Today, it's $3 million. It'll be reduced to 2.6. It does result in a check back to the taxpayer in the amount of $1,511.58. Our office recommends that you approve this settlement agreement as recommended by all the other taxing agencies.
Real quick, for those who are wondering what the heck all that means, from time to time, there is an assessment or reassessment done, and then there's 3 parties that are part of that, right? It's the county, the school district, the county, and us?
The school district The Montgomery County Community College actually has a piece of it.
That's who it is.
The county and the township.
And the county and the township, and then based on the assessment, sometimes the assessment is that more tax is owed, sometimes the assessment is that less tax are owed, and what you just heard is that a little over $1,000 will be refunded to, after this tax assessment, to that property owner. So with that, I will call the question, is there a motion, is all in favor of the motion for the tax appeal settlement for 1150 Bethlehem Pike, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. It is approved 4-1. Next is another tax appeal. Is there a motion for approval for a tax appeal settlement for 1856 Broad Street? The chair will make a motion. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Andrews.
Yes, this is the Rite Aid at the corner of Cowpath and Broad Street. This assessment appeal was filed in 2023, so they are suggesting a settlement that'll cover 2023, 2024, 2025, into 2026, establishing a new assessment. It was 5.57 with the market value down to 3.5. Again, a check back to the property owner in total for 3 years, $6,185.85, recommended by the other 3 taxing authorities who have all signed the settlement agreement. It's in front of you and recommended.
Okay, and like I said, obviously I just explained that, but just to add to it a little bit, sometimes we're on the plus side of it, sometimes we are on the minus side of it, and we are very much, oftentimes follow the advice of the other entities as they are deeper into the assessment process. They handle the assessment process. We do not. So with that, I will call the question. All in favor of the tax appeal settlement for 1856 Broad Street, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Next is a scheduling item. This is a housekeeping item with regard to a conditional use hearing. This is a motion for approval to schedule the conditional use hearing of Pulte Homes application for January 28th, 2026. And the chair will make a motion. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Andrus. And for those of you who, we just recently received a revised plan from Pulte Homes. We have a very strict deadline in order to hold a hearing. So we needed to make sure that we got on our agenda the date of that hearing. We only have 60 days from the time that we received the application. I know 1 or 2 people who live in the area will be particularly interested in this, and we can talk offline. This merely just sets a date for when they will come in and present their application or represent their application, and that's set for January 28th, 2026 at 7 p.m. With that, I'll call the motion. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Next is a consideration of special counsel appointment for a conditional use hearing. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. For those of you who sat through the Pulte Homes hearing the last time, which is probably 18 months ago or so, the board appointed a special counsel who defends the code. That is the attorney's responsibility. Our own solicitor obviously handles the hearing, and we as in the board will act as judges, not really as commissioners. And then there'll be counsel for the applicant, and this allows us to engage special counsel to defend our municipal code. And so this is very much the same process and standard that we used for the last time this application was submitted to us. So any other questions or comments?
Thomas Panzer is his name. I need you to verify that's who it is.
So why don't I do it this way? Why don't we redo the motion for approval for consideration of special counsel Tom Panzer as appointed for the conditional use hearing? Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Lestracco. So now I think we've got the motion with Mr. Panzer identified. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Next is Resolution 25-19. Is there a motion for approval with regard to the grant application submission for the pedestrian bridge at the Boy Scout cabin?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Lestracco. Aaron, do you want to
Sure.
Give us the rundown.
Thanks, Mr. President. We've been working with our Boy Scout troops over a number of years. They have a cabin on Walnut Street that some people are familiar with. The access to the cabin goes over a stream, which the bridge itself has been damaged significantly over the years and was completely wiped out in the storm last May. So we've been working with them about a long-term solutions to allow the Boy Scouts to continue to use the cabin. And with the help of our engineer team, Brian and his team, and Anton and his team, we've come up with some ideas on how to make it a better structure so it's a permanent solution for the Boy Scouts. The cost is roughly $300,000 for the bridge itself. So we're applying for grant funding from the state to help us purchase that bridge. The local match is not a dollar match, it's a engineering and design match. So if awarded, we'll have enough money for the materials and the bridge itself for the pedestrian crossing to allow the scouts to get to their cabin safely. They do have access now in a short-term capacity, but this will provide them long-term access for many years to come. So this is simply to submit the application, and then we wait, and we'll update you when we hear back.
All right. Any questions or comments from commissioners or otherwise? All right, then I will call the question. All in favor of Resolution 25-19, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, last is the amendment to the agenda item, which was a motion now that would be pending is a motion to appoint Aaron Blanc to the Pool Advisory Board. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Vice President Rogers. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Andrus. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will call a question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
So that will carry 3-2. All right, Township Staff Report. Aaron, do you have anything else for the?
No report other than this is our last meeting of the year, so Happy New Year to the board and residents, and thank you for your support this year. And Commissioner Rogers, we're going to miss you. Thank you.
I'm going to miss you guys too, so.
What will you do on your Wednesday nights?
Something more exciting.
Last week's meeting.
If you watch meetings, if you go back and watch meetings.
No, that's when I wake up at 2. Right, that's what a lot of people watch.
Yes, that's true.
So-
They have us on a loop. That means they can't sleep. Kristen, any questions or anything
No,
for the
I
good of
share
the
the same sentiments as Aaron. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll miss you, Bob. Best of luck. Best wishes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You'll be happy that I remembered that to announce that we met in executive session prior to this evening's meeting to discuss property, and we are going to meet afterwards to another executive session to discuss personnel.
Okay,
All right.
good job.
All right, citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments?
Yeah, my name is John Sperling. I live at 1701 West Main Street, AKA Welsh Road. Couple of meetings ago, when you were talking about lowering the speed limit out on 309, I asked you if you could look into lowering the speed limit on Welsh Road as well. I don't know if you remember. But I also, our concern is there are a lot of deer getting hit out there. There were 2 deer got hit this year alone. Is there any way I know the state has the authority for the speed limit, but can we get a couple of deer crossing signs or something put up?
Sure.
Yeah, I think those are usually.
I mean, the deer may look at it anyway.
The deer in Hatfield can read. No, John, we'd be happy to put some signage up. And we did request the speed limit study to PennDOT. It is their call, but we're allowed to request that. So we're happy to move forward
Yeah,
on
I
both of
would
those
like
things.
to see that at least. Maybe it'll help.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, any other citizens' comments? All right, with that, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers. Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Andrus. Vice President Rogers, it's been an honor. Thank you
It's
for all
been an
your
honor.
for
I'll
all
tell
your
you
years.
what, incredible group, so.
All right. Hearing no further questions or comments, I will call the question. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Have a great holiday season, folks.